Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are in Beverly Hills, California, and right now we're driving down Elm Drive. And if that road doesn't sound familiar to you, it will when I tell you what happened here back in the late 1980s. Now there has been a lot of interest in this story lately, mostly because of the Netflix series, but I'm going to take you and show you the Menendez Brothers' home. Now this is the home where they tragically killed their parents, but there's a lot of new information coming out about the fact that the two boys did not have a very good upbringing. There's a lot of talk about there have been abuse in the household. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about what happened in this home, and we're going to walk you by the home. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the crimes. Now, for just a little more information, the home was on the market at the beginning of the year, and it ended up going up for sale. I believe it sold for around $17 million, somewhere around there. But the owners are going to gut and renovate the home, and by the time you see this video, it may have already been done. But as of right now, it is still the way that it used to be. Now, let's park right here, and I'll take you back, and we'll go look at the house. Let's go. Now we're walking towards the house, and for a little more background, Erik and Lyle Menendez were basically two Beverly Hills kids. Their parents were Jose and Kitty, and Jose was an executive for RCA Records, and he was appointed as CEO of Live Entertainment. So he was a very successful guy. And on the evening of August 20th of 1989, Jose and Kitty Menendez were watching TV in the den of their house, and Lyle and Erik entered the den carrying loaded shotguns. Now, Jose was shot 6 times, including a fatal shot to the back of his head, and Kitty was shot a total of 10 times. After this happened, both brothers remained in the house for a few minutes because they were expecting police to respond due to the noise of the gunshots. You know, it's Beverly Hills, things like that don't happen here. If somebody around here hears a gunshot, they're probably going to call it in. Now, when the police didn't show up, they left to dispose of their clothes that were stained with blood, and then they discarded the shotgun somewhere along Mulholland Drive up in the hills. They also went to a movie theater and attempted to buy tickets for the film Batman to use as their alibi, but they abandoned that plan due to the timestamp on the ticket stub. They then headed to the Taste of LA festival at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, and then they came home, and after finding no police presence anywhere near the home, Lyle called 911 to report that his parents had been killed by unknown perpetrators. I'll play that call now.
Beverly Hills emergency?
Yes, police.
What's the problem? What's the problem? What's the problem?
Someone killed my parents.
Pardon me?
Someone killed my parents.
What? Who? Are they still there?
Yes.
The people...
No.
Were they shot?
Hey, man,
Were they shot?
Yes.
They were shot?
Yes.
102 response. 722 North Elm Drive.
What happened? Hey, stay there,
I have a hysterical person on. We're trying to get things further. Other units responding. Is the person still there?
What happened? We have units around. What happened? Who shot who?
I don't hear anything. I just came home.
You came home and found who shot?
Mom and Dad. You know if they're still in the house, the people that did the shooting.
Get away from him. Okay, hang on.
Now, after that famed 911 call, when the police officers arrived on scene, they did not seek gunshot residue tests from the brothers, which would have indicated whether or not they had recently fired a gun. Detectives initially thought that the crime was mob-related due to its nature and Jose's business connections, and police officers and forensic staff who worked on the crime scene described it as the most brutal crime that they'd ever encountered. Now, this is the home here, 722 Elm, and this is where it all happened. Now, they ended up abandoning this Beverly Hills mansion right here, and they moved to adjoining condos in Marina del Rey, not too far away from here. And they were traveling and living the high life, and they were spotted courtside even at a New York Knicks game, which is immortalized in a Hoops basketball card of Mark Jackson, where they can be seen here on the left side of the card. Now, as the investigation continued, police started to suspect the brothers a little bit more due to the possible financial motive and their spending spree after the killings. Now, after this all happened, they were buying watches, they were buying businesses, they were traveling everywhere. They were doing things that most normal people wouldn't do after something tragic like this. And also, Erik's high school friend, Craig Signorelli, reported to the police that Erik had confessed to him, and he also revealed that he and Erik had previously written a 66-page screenplay titled Friends, which depicted a son killing his wealthy parents for their inheritance. Now, in an attempt to get a confession, police arranged for Signorelli to wear a wire during lunch with Erik, and when he asked Erik whether or not he killed his parents when he had the wire on, Erik denied it. Now, he eventually confessed to his psychotherapist, Jerome Oziel, who then told his mistress, and Oziel began recording his sessions with Lyle and Erik. Now, this is where it gets a little bit weird, because when the therapist broke up with his mistress, she had a fit, and she told police about the brothers' involvement in the murders. Lyle was arrested on March 8th of 1990 outside of their Beverly Hills home here, and Erik turned himself in 3 days later after returning to L.A. from Israel. Both of them were held without bail and jailed separately at the Los Angeles County Jail. Now, the case became an international sensation. Court TV broadcast the trial in 1993, and Erik was represented by Leslie Abramson and Jill Lansing for Lyle Menendez. The brothers stated that they killed their parents out of fear for their own lives after a lifetime of abuse at the hands of their parents, especially their father. They claimed that Jose was very abusive to them, that he was, not a good man by any standards. It sounds like they had endured a lot of abuse growing up and even into adulthood. They also described their mother as being an enabling and selfish, mentally unstable alcoholic, drug addict who encouraged her husband's behavior and was also violent towards the brothers. Now, the Menendez brothers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, the Menendez home was on the market earlier this year for over $17 million. It did sell, but they did have an open house, and one of the fans of our channel actually was able to go into that home, and I'll put these pictures up in the middle of the screen. But these were pictures that were taken inside the Menendez home before any other renovations were done. So as you can see, it was a very beautiful house. It was very elegant, but they have since started to do renovations on this home, so it's not going to be the same as it was. But I will also put another picture of the den towards the end of these pictures, which is where the crimes actually happened. So I'll put those pictures right about here. Now that's all I have for you today from Beverly Hills, California. Now let me know in the comments section if you remember this trial and if you think that the boys should be given a second chance, so to speak. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody.